nice solid. And if we do this, there we go. G'day folks, I'm the Coffee Bush Kid. Early start for the morning. It's a nice mild morning. We've had some rain overnight. As you can see in the background there, at some point there's been a fire. There's glass everywhere. We've got diggings, we've got dumpage, and we have piles of potential. So who knows what we'll find. I'm just looking around the ute, and there's bits of old bottle top, there's gin bottles, there's old black beer. So the old boys who are younger than me, we're out here. Are we going to find Vicky's? Are we going to find George's? Will there be belt buckles? Oh, snake buckle, that'd be all right for the day. I'm out with the Triple Score and the SC24 coil, so the smaller coil that it comes with, because it comes with two. So I'll be able to poke around all day long. I'll probably be going from field mode with my ferrous discrimination. If I get into some sort of dumpy site, I'll whip it over into park mode and I'll have my high cherry picking discrimination in. But that'll never happen unless I stop talking. So, enough yabba from me. Let's get out there. Now, I got a funny little signal and I gave it a boot scrape, as you can see there. Now, I've got this. Target ID only goes up to 60. You hear it's only small. So, I'll get the old acupoint out. Well, hey, what's it going to be? Bother, it's going to be that. Well, that's a bugger. So sometimes, unfortunately, and it happens with all detectors, that you will get certain pieces of tin. There is a lot of tin around here, and it is tin with rivets, as we can see there. So I don't know what this was, but it was something of substance. Anyway, oh, look at that. The sun's out on the stealth spade beautifully. I think it's time we should go do more digging. On sites like this, you don't need your sensitivity too high. You don't need your recovery speed too low. And we're just detecting over. And there we go. That is just sitting on top of the ground. Right. Your guess is potentially as good as mine. It does look like the back end of an acorn cup. It's what it looks like. Oh, is it? Yes, it is. Wacko the did. Now I've got to be able to get in there. Where are we? A-L, I don't know. But they're hallmarks. So we'll be able to get get in there. We'll be able to get a date off that. How's that? A silver acorn with a love heart. That's... Well, I can certainly say I've never found one of those before. How is that for? Let's pretty much say a first hole banger, though it might have been the second target. But yeah, we are on the sterling silver, sitting on top of the ground. Now this is you can see here, like I've got stuff everywhere to play in. There's manganese, glass. It's just, yeah. I have a lot of fun in places like this. There's been a fire through, so we haven't got that much leaf litter. And we've had rain. In fact, we've had big rain lately. And so everything's just sort of washed away, as you can see here, you know, by the line of leaf litter that's just been piled off, and there's a slight slope coming down the hill here. And amongst it all, we've got sterling silver sitting on top of the surface. Sterling silver on surface. There you go. But that's just amazing. Anyway, enough rabbiting on about this. Great find. Let's see what else we can get, hey? Bring you in on this one. Here we go. Just down there. Nice and small. So, it won't be too deep. There's not that much bloody depth to everything here. Oh, actually, I can see whatever it is right now. There we go. A coppery looking ring thing. Where are we? We're up there. I do love these areas. Like, you know, you can put on a bigger coil, you can go around, whether it be house sites or wherever, you know, punch deep, see what you can find. But in amongst all this, it's a real mind game. Just poking around through all this stuff, looking for bits and pieces. You really, I look at it, it's a bit like the mind game you got to play for gold. You know, if you're short attention span, nah, can't do it. Gold's just, it can be heartbreaking. Maybe this is the same, but you've got to have your concentration. You've got to be able to be at one with your machine to know what it's up to. And it's a great challenge to pull something great out of an area like this. So yeah, if you're up for a challenge, I love doing this. Anyway, we'll keep going. Well, just after my little waffle, I'm heading back to the machine to pick it up. Yep, bit of dump larking, gotta love it. And there we are, we got that. And well, may you ask what that is? That's a little, like a draw pull if you like. Now you can see we've got the washery part behind it. And there's that would have been folded out. You know, this would have been pushed through, that on there. It's a great little, it's a simple, cheap little draw pull. Flies. But yeah, it's a cool little find. Worth nothing, just a little piece of history, you know. Someone would have had that on something, they would have pulled it open many a time before it finally came adrift. We'll never know who handled it, but someone did. And now, you know, probably 100 years later, maybe 120, 130 years later, we've found it. It's just a cool little find. These days it doesn't cost much to film. But you're still, you know, we've got to get the camera out of the bag and everything like that. Oh, look, I'll just check this 3637 signal first off. Well, you know, down in that hole it was. Now it's there. Should have had you in from the start. I don't know why, like all YouTubers are like it, I dare say. There we go. That's going to be a halfpenny. She's been through a fire. We're going to have to clean this up and see what we actually have got. It could well be something extremely interesting. All right, be back with you in a tick. Well, they don't come up that often, and this one has got some yucky cancer in the forming. But that is Edward the 7th. There he is. What date? Well, 190358 2. 2? Don't know. He only reigned from 1901 through to 1910. Our first Australian silvers for the Commonwealth of Australia. Could be 3, could be 2, don't know. The first 1910 ones were Edward VII. So, yeah, but that's got some yucky stuff on it. Don't ever put a coin like this in with your good copper coins because it actually spreads. So there's a little tip for you. Cool find though, we got it. Yeah, we got it in amongst all this. This is what makes it all fun. Yes, I pulled one of these out. I pitted myself against the dump and came out triumphant. Oh, there'll be a fanfare blowing soon. Anyway, good little find. We'll keep finding some more. Hadn't swung over this bit yet. There is where I got my Eddie halfpenny. And so this was the edge of my swing area. I've just bent down to pick up my stealth spade. And look at what we've got sitting there in situ. Now suspender buckle. That's in pretty good nick. The old Paris buckle, solid in the centre. Yeah, nothing much else on there. And, so I get my hand right. Yes, look at that. And it still works. How many bloody years in the ground? And it still works. They are a great little design. Amazing. Anyway, detecting and dump larking. You gotta love it. The day's only getting better. Now, I have seen this one and I have covered up for dramatic reveal, but look at the numbers on it. Okay, that's all it was. 32, 33. It was just down in there. So, I dug it, as you do, and then I found it with the pinpointer. And if we do this, we'll go, where is it? Look at that. Little bee. That's interesting. I must have been on something and it would have pivoted. Oh, that's cool. The body would have been more bell-shaped. If I can turn it over. How cool's that? That was probably enamel too, maybe. Oh, what a glorious thing. Look at its eyes. Oh, that's bloody ripper. That's as cool as. But yeah, nothing wrong with that little find, is there? Sorry, I'm trying to fend off mosquitoes. But yeah, very, very happy with that. Don't know what it was off, but pretty cool nonetheless. Awesome. Again, I should dig those low 30s for you. Now, I have seen this one. You ready? Yep, wasn't what you thought it was. That will be a small reed plate with reeds intact out of a musical instrument. And I think that we've figured out what they are, but I can't remember for the life of me whether accordion, constant screamer, harmonium, I can't remember. But that was certainly just a one-offy in-out key, I dare say. Note, I should say. Yeah. Interesting little find though. Certainly gave a good signal. 32, 33 again. So yeah. Anyway, we'll keep moving. Bit of light rain happening, and I've just diddle-it, 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 so it's shallow. But just with the boot scrape, it was real shallow. And there we go, we've got another one. And again, there we go, another Paris. Thank you very much. Yep. And it moves. Of course it's gonna move. It's a Paris buckle. Very cool. Rain is starting to set in a little bit more. It might be an enforced smoko. Another 30 signal that I didn't bring you in for because I had a bad one just before. The heck was this? Safety pin. Well, sort of safety pin. Now, I've dug me some safety pins in the past, but I've not dug one like that. Nearly made like a lateen brooch. That's actually quite snazzy, that. Oop. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyway, I think we might take shelter in the ute for a little while. Well, the rain stopped. I've come back to where I was. There's the little pin that I left there. Happened to swing back over the hole. There's still a signal there. Yep, and that's what it is. Ooh, it's got writing on it. And it'll be a 4-hole. Yep, 4-hole, no worries. Actually, we are going to have give that a bit more of a brush. I can see that it's the tailor, but I need to be able to read what that says properly. Be back with you in a tick. There we are. Schwenensen. Yep, the tailor. Now, if anyone wants to be able to pronounce that better, by all means, please go ahead. But beside that, it's a beautiful little button. One of those deep dished 4-holers. So yeah, and the patina on it's absolutely beautiful. Anyway, Germanesque name, or Germanic name I should say, and he was the tailor. Awesome. We'll keep going. Wow. It was just a little twip when I swung over it. But now we've got that. Boot scrape. Your boots are one of the most important digging pieces of equipment you can have. You've got to have good sturdy boots. Don't go for anything lightweight and trashy. Get yourself a decent pair. Because with a decent boot scrape and a good Nokta detector, you can come up with stuff like this. Oh yeah. Oh, I see a little shield on that. There we go. Little thrip. 19. Oh, you're joking me. Is that 1910? Ha! Because I was just telling you about our first Australian silvers. Giving that the big wipe. Yep, 1910. Oh, how cool's that? So it was probably just actually over there where we got the Eddie halfpenny. And now we've got a 1910 threepence. Now these were all made overseas. I think they were made in England actually. 1911, when we had George V come to the throne, they were made in Australia. Minted in Australia. There we go. Edward VII facing to the right. I like finding these. Look at that. That's a glorious thing. Now, it is hay fever season, but I am going to ask you to do what we should be doing. For all the new people watching, thank you for watching, but just follow the prompts. And for you old pros out there, you know what's coming up. So, exhale. Inhale. Oh, yes. It doesn't get much better than that, does it? Oh, that's glorious. Rip a little find. Oh, I'm bloody stoked with that. And you know, this is what we're playing in. Ah, you just gotta love it. Just gotta love it. Well, after that glorious sniff of Eddie Wild Silver, I found this with my eyes. And that is actually a little plate, a little kid's plate. And while I was looking at it, I just happened to turn around and I saw that. Ah! Unfortunately, it's broken. But that, potentially, yeah, cup and saucer. Hey? There would have been many a sip had out of that by some little kid throwing a tea party for the dolls and teddy bears. That's takes you back to older times, doesn't it? Anyway, speaking of older times, let's find something else that's old. Lesson time again. There we go. Got that. Some naily thing. No, that's a bullet. That's a bullet that's been made in a mould and it hasn't had the sprue cut off it yet. So, don't know what size it was. Yeah. Someone will probably be able to take a look at that and go, oh, that's a 36 calibre out of a naval Colt or some bloody thing like that from 1851. Oh, that's cool. Wouldn't have been cool if it hit you, but it's cool to find. Anyway, I'll keep going. I'll tell you what, you're not missing much when you find things like this. It was for hanging something, maybe a prism off a set of lustres. You can see there's fancy work around there. But yeah, you're not missing much. How is this for a piece of fancy? It's not a rivet. Thought it was at the start. But look at that edge. Oh, looks like rope. I think it's a handle, not something that needs to be turned. The reason I say that is because this has been peened over and we can see underneath, or between the top of the peening and this flat edge there, that there's steel in there. I think it was something on something steel. So nice handle, draw pulley type thing on something steel. Nice piece of work, that. Well, I just happened to spot this while I was swinging. Are we looking at a bead? I think we are. Yep. Oh, maybe we're not. Seems to only have one hole in it if it is a bead. Anyway, that's a cool little find. Just swinging along, and I spotted it. An absolute cracker of a crouch stopper. Looks like it is broken, but that's a great colour. Yep, that's a glorious colour, that one. Look at that. Any writing? No. You can see there it was a bit cold when they poured it. So those wavy lines, the glass was starting to solidify. A couple of inclusions in there that just give it that cool look. Yep, that'll look good in the jar with all the coloured glass. We'll take that one home, no worries. Well, I got a cool little find down here. I did have to chase it a bit to find where it was. There we go. Yeah, nice solid. So, there it is. In the shade of the bloody control pod. There's that. And that is a keyhole escutcheon for a chest of drawers. Or for a wooden drawer. You see how it's actually tapered? They used to cut the shape and then you could belt that in and it would, you know, fix itself in on the taper. I actually need another one of these for a chest of drawers repair. So that'll go home and that'll be used. So I'm quite happy with that. It's always great when you can come out into the bush, find stuff and go, actually, I've got a use for that. It just repurposes it, stops it just being fines or rubbish or trash or whatever you want to call it, and becomes something useful. Love it when we can do that. Well, I swung over where I had that keyhole escutcheon. You can see there I dug me a deep hole. What for? Came in as a 51, 52. Yeah, a big brass bung. That's a ripper. Was that off an oil can or something of the like? But that's pretty cool. Like that was a casting, and then they turned it and put a thread on it and put a shoulder on it. Yeah, that's a good, big, cool find. Alrighty folks, that's it for the day. You can see how it all ended up. Flies. Hay fever calmed down a little bit, which is good when you're wearing a net. But the flies are horrendous. Our day out was good. We got silver. We got that silver Love Hardy acorny thing with hallmarks. We got a 1910 Eddie the 7th bit of wild silver to sniff on. And no one sneezed after it, so that was all right. Yeah, there was bodily bits and stuff that we saw with our eyes. There was that marbly, beady thing. Oh, I'm using all the great descriptive words. What else did we get? Buttons. Oh, we've got a really nice button. Yeah, just good, fun stuff that we found with the detector, we found with our eyes. And it was a good time out. Starting to get a bit warm now and a bit muggy because we've had the rain. But no, it's been a good time out, and thank you all for coming out with me. Looking over the shoulder, I do like showing you all the stuff as I see it, so that's really cool. Anyway, we drop one of these videos 6:30 on a Saturday night our time, so come on over and like and share and, you know, do all the things you're supposed to do to help a channel. We have memberships, and thank you to those who have taken them up. Very much appreciated. There is our merch store that you can walk through easily to look at flash stuff. We will attempt to put some more bits and pieces in there soon-ish. Stuff that you might not get anywhere else. What else is there? I think that's about it. So, keep in mind, always good to fill in some of your day detecting, but remember to fill in all your holes when you're finished. Be respectful to people and places, and, you know, even if you're out in a rubbish dump, fill your holes in. There's too many holes being left open. And yep, that's how we end it. I'll catch you next time.